Long, long ago, in a time when anything could happen.
It was 1958, and kindergarten was getting weirder all the time.
Now it was just a week before his wedding. On June 18th, 1982, he and a friend were headed for a topless bar in East Detroit.
There, in a small fishing village at the base of a great volcano, lived a naive but spirited young monk.
At age 4, there were still a few things I didn't understand yet.
He wouldn't listen to his mother when she said, "Vincent, you will be married soon. You shouldn't go to those places."
Everyone who lived there knew they did so at great risk, for the volcano often shook the earth, sending clouds of foul gas into the air.
Like central Los Angeles, I never saw so many kids in my life. Playing on the schoolyard was usually the best part, but I'll never forget this one day.
"Don't worry, Mother," he said. "It's the last time." They were out for one final celebration.
It was the end of the monk's training, and he was given a special task. "You must go to the sea spirit and ask for protection for our village." The young monk went down to the ocean, trembling with anticipation.
I was all by myself when I saw 2 boys walking on the schoolyard outside the fence. They saw me and stopped.
In the bar, they sat down near 2 other men, both recently unemployed Detroit auto workers.
"We must have proof of your manhood, and this will be your final test." His heart was filled with dread as he called out loud over the roar of the pounding sea.
Ching Chong Chinaman sitting on the fence, trying to make $1 out of 15 cents.
Unpleasant words were exchanged. "It's because of you little motherfuckers that we're out of work. Chinese, Japanese, they all look, you know."
"One and only sea spirit, I have come to ask you to protect our village. We will make the usual offering."
15 cents? What? I don't get it. I'm not sitting on any fence.
A fight broke out. Afterwards, the 2 tracked him down to a nearby McDonald's, following our police eyewitness accounts.
Up from the depths of the ocean rose the sea spirit. "You must gather the bones of 10,000 men, and with them construct a dam at the end of the valley. Then you must wave this magic staff, and you will be protected." With that, the sea spirit descended, a strange smile on its face.
Why are you laughing at me like that? What does that mean?
They cornered him up in the phone booth here. Mr. Nitz grabbed him in a bear hug while Mr. Evans swung a bat, repeatedly striking Mr. Chin.
Again and again, he practiced waving the magic staff, and just as instructed, he built a huge dam from the bones of their men. Sure enough, soon came an eruption bigger than any he had ever felt. Down below, he could hear the frightened voices of the village people.
Ching Chong Chinaman, beat that rat. Hit him on the head with a baseball bat.
Mr. Chin broke loose and ran out here to the middle of the street. He stopped and slipped.
He knew he didn't have much time left. Lava began to ooze from cracks in the earth, flowing down to the dam. Frantically, he waved the magic staff, but nothing seemed to happen.
I don't understand. It's something about being Chinese. They walked away laughing to each other. Where was the teacher?
Mr. Evans was standing over him with the baseball bat. He had it in both his hands and he was hitting him on top of his head.
Again and again, he did as he was told, praying the sea spirit's words were true. But the lava continued to flow, causing the dam to buckle and groan under the strain. Tears of frustration welled up in his eyes from the futility of his efforts.
What could I do? There were 2 of them. They were bigger and older. And the way they said that, like Chinese, was something stupid to be laughed at.
He swung the bat as if a baseball player were swinging for a home run. Full contact, full swing.
With a sickening crack, the dam burst, and out poured a river of molten lava heading straight for the village. People began to panic.
Nothing like this had ever happened to me before. Why did they do that? My face was hot, my head hurt.
His skull was obviously fractured. There were brains laying on the street. He wasn't dead yet, but the man was a goner.
In anguish, they watched as everything they had was destroyed in a single firestorm. The people wept and wailed, shaking angry fists towards the sea.
I was crying. You're not going to get away with this.
4 days later, he was dead. In a plea bargaining decision, both Ronald Ebens and Michael Nitz received 3 years probation and a $3,000 fine.
In bitterness, the young monk vowed never again to be fooled by such misplaced faith. The bones of our manhood will never again be sacrificed like this.
Someone should stop things like this from happening. But when I told the teacher about it, she acted like it was nothing.
In fact, neither man ever served a day in prison.
And never again did the village people make offerings to the sea spirit. Instead, they gathered up what was left of their lives, and heading out for the unknown,
They just walked away.
They just walked away.
they just walked away.